HarperCollins presents Gin and Phonics, My Journey Through Middle-Class Motherhood, via the Occasional Pub. Written and read by Clara Batten. This book is dedicated to my late father, Howard, my mother, Louise, my two children, Cressy and Monty, and my husband, Adam. Introduction. Hello, you. I don't mean to sound like some Hugh Grant character in a Richard Curtis rom-com. I'm literally saying hello. Because, if I'm honest, I never, not in a million years, thought I'd be here. Writing this book. Writing to you. Someone I've never met. I'm sure I'd want to meet you, given you've bought my book. Shit. I'm not saying that because I'm making money from you. What I mean is, the fact that you have an interest in buying this book probably means we're somewhat alike in many respects. Geez, not just an interest in buying this. You've given your own hard-earned money over in exchange for it. Well, hopefully it was your own money. I suppose you might have nicked it. And I have zero idea if you worked hard for it or not. This has started out well. Last but not least, hello to all the people who follow my ridiculous social media antics and want to see what the bloody hell I'm doing here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Clara, but all my friends, family, and even some of my old school teachers call me Ra. I'm 39. Yes, that's right. I will be the big 4-0 this year. In August, to be precise. I'm married to Adam and we have two children. Cressida, Cressy, 4, and Montgomery, Monty, almost 3. We chose these names for our kids because we didn't want to reinforce any middle-class stereotypes. Some of you might know me from that really grown-up app TikTok. To be honest, since the beginning of the pandemic, more grown-ups have started using it, but I can't pretend we're that grown-up on it. It's inadvertently become a big part of my life over the last 2 years, starting as a bit of escapism and then becoming a sort of job, I suppose. I'll tell you all about how I came to be introduced to it a bit later. It's not at all embarrassing. I bet you're wondering how this book came to be. No? Well, let me tell you anyway. So, when things became a bit more interesting in my life, and by interesting, I mean, instead of Metanium nappy rash ointment being top of my shopping list, I began adding wigs and costumes for my online sketches, I set about writing down snapshots of my life, reflecting on all of those ridiculous and random things that happen when you're a parent and you begin sharing your life online and, well, my weird life in general. And this book started to take shape. One thing that, for me, falls into both the ridiculous and random categories is this little thing called phonics, which takes the alphabet as we all know it and turns it into a train wreck of letters, which is then used as the basis of how kids are taught to read in primary schools. When Cressy started school and I discovered this system, my mind was so utterly blown, more on that later, that I decided this book would be structured around this word soup for no other reason than, well, it seemed like a nice idea at the time and also puns conveniently with my number one love, a crisp, cold G&T. Maybe, just maybe, you've picked up this book because you're equally interested in this bastardization of the traditional alphabet. But even if you're not, don't bloody stop listening. S is for school. Aside from my kids' entry into the weird and wonderful world of primary schools, I have my own memories by which to gauge these extraordinary places, and, albeit a massive cliché, these years were some of the greatest and most memorable of my life. My best friend of 32 years, Pip, who I met at primary school when I was 8, and I often have this conversation about how no other years in education really compare to the very formative ones. Maybe it's because we were so young that we look back on them with
Sample complete. Ready to continue?